Okay, so I'm having a whole bunch coming through on this dynamic, how the female energy needs to hold the energetic field straight and strong, like be a pillar, an energetic pillar standing in place. And the masculine is still going to be flighty for a while. It's kind of like energetically, and this is going to sound kind of funny, but energetically, it's like you're here, you're holding up the home energetic home base, and it's kind of like you have a dog that keeps running around. He goes for a couple of days, and then comes back with a bone and shows you his bone, and then you're like, "Oh, that's such a nice, oh, good doggy. You did a good job. Look at you. Go have some fun. I'm doing my thing here." It feels kind of like that. Kind of like you have to completely let go. And in order to completely let go, you have to have complete faith and trust and knowing in the twin flame journey. Because when you truly trust and when you truly know that that other person is your counterpart, you understand that there's a connection there, a bond there that can't be broken. And nothing can break that bond. So all the rest just becomes like superficial. All the chasing, all the running, there's nothing to be chasing for, there's nothing to be running for. The connection is from within. So chasing and running is if you just sit in that place and hold that knowing that you're connected. So so I balance my energy. I become solid, like flatline my energy without all the push and pull, push and pull. And when I become flatline, that other side, all that, all that push will be for nothing because there is no counterpart with the game. It's like you lay down all your cards on the table and you just become completely flat in complete trust and knowing that you're connected no matter what. And then there's nothing to chase. You're connected. I can feel the shenanigans. I can see exactly what you're doing. I see you at every turn. And so it's kind of like not being moved from from what they're doing anymore. Like not playing the game anymore. It's like when there's two people playing a game, then both sides have to hold up their side, right? So if I'm chasing, he's running. And because we're both the same of the same, right? So when part of me pushes, the other part pulls, right? Because it's a polar within one. So if I'm bringing an extremity, the other side is bringing the extremity as well, the polar extremity. Because I'm pushing in on those places, he's pulling out on those places. If I'm pulling back on those places, he's pushing in. That's why they push all our buttons and why we push all their buttons, because we're pushing at our own selves back and forth within this like energetic, like you could see it like two halves coming together and colliding. And then there's this energetic push and pull as everything is evening out to become one. It's the mixing up of everything. It's once you have that soul recognition, it's like that's it. You were shot into this catapultic uh, merging almost. And if as the more you fight it, the more you flip around during the merging, but the gravity pull is precise, it's even. So the gravity pull is going to keep on pulling you back. You can keep on flipping back out into space, but you always come back to the same dance. And the more you fight it and try to hold on to your identity in it, or hold on to your sense of separation, your sense of identity, like I'm separate from you, so I have to chase you in order to grab you. And then you're just like, it's like a dog chasing its own tail around in a circle. There's no way to get there. So the best you can do is just quit fighting it and allow the merge. However the merge is going to be, just trust in the divine that it's going to turn out to be an equal merge. You don't have to chase anything. You can just relax because it's a belonging. It's like home. Um, and so you can just relax into it. And by you relaxing into it, you're pulling your partner into a relaxation. So even if there is like a painful time there of separation, because I'm going into relax and he's still flipping energetically, because I am providing him energetically with the food he needs to be flipping, right? So once I pull all that energy away, then he'll be flipping. It's like a fish out of water for a little bit. And then slowly everything will calm into place. And as it calms into place for him, it's also relaxing me into holding that energetic space, right? I don't have to hold so tight because it the resistance is becoming less and less, right? Which is his resistance, because it's an energetic field. It's a shared energetic field. I can bring my energy back down to me, flatten it out. That means I have to alchemize the emotions. That means every time I have the pull, every time I feel him tugging at me, like the pull, I need to go. I need to catch him. Because once you let go, then they really start flipping. They really start because there's no reaction. So it's really just letting them go do their thing, and you come into your solitude and into your, you also can't be flipping over here on this side. That's just pulling the flipping. It's like a pull push. We're moving together in a pull push. And then the places that the places that the pull pushes out of even is when one does one thing and the other one, it takes a little while to follow. So then there's a space, there's like a gap in between, and that's where the pain is, the gap in between the two souls of being one, because we're doing the same. When you were doing the same things energetically, then even if we're in separation, it doesn't matter. Our energies are aligned, so there isn't that pull push. There isn't that, if as I'm, and that's where this telepathic connection also comes in, because you have to align your telepathic connection. Because when one's doing something and the other one's not there yet, emotionally or physically, then there's a gap in between the energies. This one's going through this energy and this one's over here in this energy. There's like a gap, and that gap in between is like a long ways to pull. Um, like I see it physically, it's like places where there's still a gap in energies. It's like, let's say if two energy fields all of a sudden realize that they're exactly the same energy fields, they're going to, it's like two drops of water coming together. They're going to be pulled together. And then when they're merged, there's still each one feeling individual. Each one built this whole life of being an individual. So you have to slowly let go of that individuality. It's like slowly the two drops of water, their particles start mixing with each other. And in the beginning, there's a push and pull and a push and pull, and you see the droplet like pulsating until it evens out into being like a one pure droplet. And that's kind of what it feels like energetically. It's like two energy fields that are exactly the same, like these two droplets of water, and the two energy fields all of a sudden go and collide into each other. And then there's that, because you are one, you are feeling what each other are doing energetically, because we're one energy field. We're slowly going back and forth from being individual one, individual one, individual one. And then once the energy fields even out, it doesn't matter if you're together or not together. the energy field is evened out. So you are in this, first of all, you are grown, you have grown. Now, once you balance out that energy field, you're you have at your service the energy of two. So you've become a bigger being. When there is no push pull, when it's a perfect even give take, when it's a perfect even um, receiver and provider, perfectly balanced. Then there is no ego in between, and then you become a force of nature because you're already a much brighter light, regardless, because you're a bigger energy field. Your energy field has collided and grown, and you're growing in all the ways that that other energy has grown. You're all of a sudden getting like a fast course, an energetic course. Everything that other you has energetically grown in his lifetime, you're all of a sudden getting into your field, and he's also getting the same thing into his field. And it, as a feminine um, energy, you're providing a lot of nurture and a lot of love and a lot of acceptance, and you're providing this nurture, this energetic boost, like to the person's soul. Like you're uplifting them in a way that, look at you, like you're showing them themselves in a light that they are lovable and that they are accepted and that they are perfect as they are. And you really see them, and you see them bright, and all of a sudden they have this mirror of themselves in this way that is like overwhelming. And in the same way as you are all of a sudden thrown into a reflection of yourself in places that you need to grow, and places which they're also growing in these places, right? It's giving them acceptance of themselves. It's giving them self-love, self-worth, a strong knowing in who they are and their being, um, a guidance back to connectivity, because they have to pass through the divine in order to reach, like there's a pass through, a connectivity through to themselves to truly connect with you. Because in order to get, the connection is within, you have to truly connect with yourself in order to connect with the other you, and you fully have to accept yourself also to be to allow yourself to be seen by this other you. And in the end, the other you sees you anyway, because you're the same energetic field, like whether it's in delay or not in delay. And I think that's where all the pain is, like that delay between feeling the energy, being able to feel the energy and accepting it, because it's so like adopting the new understanding, or adopting the new way of being, or adopting all the lessons. So it's really about alchemizing, alchemizing those impulses in the physical, the impulses to chase, because there's nothing to chase. It's you. If you balance yourself out, then you're tugging the other one. It's a merging. So the quicker you can go and calm that merging, like, and really it's surrendering into it. It's like surrendering. Okay, there's a merging happening here. It doesn't matter if it's taking place in the physical world or not in the physical world. The physical world is in tow. The physical world is like the tail end of what is done in the higher realms. So if you can balance that energy out, you bring it all back to yourself and just go breathe into it and relax back into yourself without any attention being paid. Just bring it all back into yourself. And I guess you can only do that as you can do that, because even as I'm speaking, I can feel it coming up in me that, so it's like a push, it's a tug of war, but it's also a tug of war within until you finally are able to find that perfect balance with that other energy. And we're really lucky that we found that other energy also in the physical, because the physical throws us into the higher realms. The physical acts like an instigator. It's like a sparker. It's like you see something physically, it really goes in there and pushes your buttons really good. Like that's what makes this whole spiritual awakening so much quicker, is that you have those physical mirrors, and the physical mirrors are like telltale signs, right? Whatever you see in the physical is reflecting back to you exactly where your energy is not in balance. So it's touching all your sore spots, but also like enlightening all of your, like, also reflecting back to you all of your greatness all at once. It's like meeting your counterpart. It's like meeting this other energy that is exactly your energy, and it's reflecting you back to yourself, as it's like two lights merging into becoming one big light. And once you can do that, you have that light. So you have, in an energetic field that is completely out of ego, there is no sexuality. It's all about energy. And in that place, you're in that plane, you're fulfilled once you learn to balance out that energy, because you have like double light. You're double light. And you have that energy within yourself, even being apart physically from the other one, because the energy is combined and in perfect sync. So then it really doesn't even matter. You don't, and so when your belief in that, understanding of that becomes so profound, it's like believing in God. You have to take the leap first. And then the universe catches you, and then your belief is that much stronger. And then you start really being able to move with your belief, like knowing that that this next step is guided and correct. And you can see 20 steps ahead of you. It's like being connected to this, a butterfly just flew over my head like that. It's like, you're connected to this divine intelligence, to where you're sitting outside of the 3D world. You're sitting in this energetic world, and you can just move with the energy, and you feel the next step, and then you watch it play out in reality, because it's an energetic move rather than a physical move. So it's like you take your energy and you change your energy, and it's like you're playing in this a different playing field. It's like you're playing. The word that keeps coming is metaphysical, but I don't know that that is the word. So I don't really know, like, knowingly what the meaning of that word means. But in the non-physical, it's like you're playing the game of energy. It's like you're shifting this big energy block, and then you sit back and you get to watch how it plays out in the physical world. Oh, that turned around. I guess it's not on there tight. So then you get to sit back after you've made your energetic play and just wait for it to play out on the physical world. And then you get to watch the wonders, and it makes you just believe more and more and more. You can't not believe because you've seen it happen so many times. You shift your energy, and the 3D world is in movement right after you. And it's just like on the twin flame, it's the exact same thing. There is a pain in between the shifting and waiting for the universe to catch up to you. It's like a leap of faith, and there's like this pain. You have to hold your breath for a minute. It's coming. It's just like the shifting on the twin flame journey. You bring all the energy back to you, and you have to hold out. Your faith has to hold you in that place. It's like your belief. That's the merging between the mind and the emotion. Your emotion is going to want to run because the energy is like mixing, and you have to, with your mind, bring your emotion back into tow, into the knowing that this is emerging, and that this is, being able to bring that energy back down and calm yourself again, knowing that you're pulling your twin. And it doesn't matter the merging in the 3D. Once you have that inner merging with yourself, you calm that counterpart. They can be in a completely different life than you, and you are still, by calming that energetic field, you are still having that, the benefits of that union. This is really, I need to tighten it somehow. I think that might be doing it. Yeah. So it's somehow balancing, not somehow, it's balancing that energy by keeping your focus on it, not giving in to the impulses, and then just with a knowing, bringing it back down, sitting in it, letting it pass, letting the urges pass, doing something in your own life, getting out into nature, um, allowing it to pass. And then the quicker that you can bring yourself into a calm, you're bringing that other person into a calm. And then the energies can start creating that new synergy. First, it's allowing the merging. Okay, thank you for watching.